If the food system does break down, and if food is scarce, then we're going to lose a whole lot more people in Africa and India and the rest of the emerging market. Well, that would be a huge tragedy if it's fixable. So we're working on this at Fledge. So we're spinning out a company. It's called Africa Eats, and it takes 30 of our graduates. So 30 companies that are all based in Africa. They all do food and agriculture. They are in 10 different countries. And collectively, they work with, buy from, or sell to over 100,000 smallholder farmers. So some of them do things like simply buying onions, sorting the onions and selling the onions, the best ones to the restaurants and hotels, the next best ones to the retailers in the towns and villages, and composting the ones that aren't sellable, and potatoes and rice and all these other crops. That's great. That was a great business until about 2 weeks ago when all the restaurants and hotels closed down. We have some others in here that make cooking oil. Well, it turns out that whatever cooking oil is in the continent of Africa is all the cooking oil they're going to get, because it's usually imported. A big chunk of it is imported from Southeast Asia, and the borders are closed. So we need to make cooking oil so people can cook. We have companies in here that do cook stoves and cooking fuel. We have literally companies in here that sell farming inputs, which is called seeds. We have companies that collect honey from farmers, do livestock, all these different things that make the food system run. And they're all starting to hit issues with buying from or selling to those farmers or selling to their customers and whatnot. So we own a bunch of these companies. We own a little piece of each company because we invest in every company we work with. In total, we own just shy of $3 million worth of these companies. And our plan right here is to raise $500,000 in equity from small investors, and then go to the larger investors, go to the institutions and the foundations and the DFIs, and go leverage our equity in here, our $3.5 million in equity, more or less, to go get grants, debt, or more equity. We don't care. But to go get $3 to $5 million that we can go and spend through these companies to go and make sure that the food systems are still working, to make sure that the smallholder farmers are still being paid to grow food, that their food is still being picked up, still delivered wherever it's needed to feed the populace. And we're not planning on trying to maximize our profits this year. We're really just trying to make sure that food is available wherever it's needed this year in these 10 countries. And in order to do this, because it's such a mission-driven project here, and because there's a stock market crash and a pandemic going on and whatnot, we're not expecting a whole lot of new checks being written. But we've partnered with Realize Impact, which is a 501c3 public charity, to take philanthropic investment grants, which happens to be a new service that we were already spinning up at this nonprofit. It looks and acts something like a recoverable grant, but it's way simpler. You simply donate to Realize Impact. You pay a small fee. It's $250 to $1,000, depending on the size of the investment. We do all the work of investing, and then we'll harvest the results of the investment, and we'll return 99% to any foundation, any DAF, any other 501c3 you want us to send the money to. So it really is philanthropic capital, right? It's already been donated into the philanthropy system. It can't come back out of there, but it can be reused once it's made money. And again, once we've raised this initial $500,000, we're looking to catalyze that with much bigger chunks of money and then grow this out, right? This plan is ultimately to create a Pan-African holding company that's serving millions of farmers, helping make the food system much more dynamic and much more efficient in good times and bad.